Good evening, everyone. I'll call the meeting to order. I will make note that Councillor Bolt is not here this evening because of work commitments. And so Councillor Waterfield, could you read the motion to adopt the agenda, please?
Be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Perth adopt the agenda for the August 20th, 2026 council meeting as presented.
Thank you. Those in favor? That's unanimous. I'll read the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the traditional home of various Indigenous peoples. As we work towards reconciliation, may we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all of its diverse peoples. Does anyone wish to declare a pecuniary interest now at any time in the agenda? Seeing none. Adoption of minutes. And that is Councillor McCray.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself and seconded by Deputy Mayor Ed McPherson, be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Perth adopt the minutes of the June 23rd, 2026 regular council meeting.
Thank you. Those in favor? Thank you. It's unanimous. We have no delegation scheduled, no presentation scheduled. So the consent agenda. This is moved by Councillor Bird.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McCray, that the following motions listed below in the consent agenda be passed and numbered accordingly.
Thank you. Is there anyone that wishes to pull an item from the consent agenda? Deputy Mayor.
I request that consent agenda item number 9, the Environmental Services Shop Project budget authorization and financing be removed from the consent agenda as requested by staff to correct the total financing amount.
Okay, we'll consider that at item 9 in the agenda. We'll ask Director McNally to provide a summary of the proposed change. Councillor Bird, could you propose to amend the motion?
Certainly, Your Worship. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McCray, that the following motions listed below in the consent agenda, with the exception of consent agenda item number 9, Environmental Services Shop Project, budget authorization and financing, as requested by Deputy Mayor Ed McPherson, be passed and numbered accordingly.
Thank you. Those in favor of that, please. Thank you. Do we need to read the motion as amended? Okay. Thank you. And moving ahead then. Oh, magically enough, we're at item number 9. So, Director McNally, could you explain the change?
Yes, so through you, Chair, just the amounts are the same for the line-by-line items. It's just that the total amount wasn't correct. So we're making an administrative change to the total.
Thank you. And it doesn't amount to a great many dollars.
It's just over $8,000.
Yes, thank you. Deputy Mayor.
Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Waterfield, be it resolved the Council of the Town of Perth, number 1, approve the budget for the Environmental Services Shop Project in the amount of $5,355,934 plus HST. Number 2, direct staff to include the Environmental Services Shop Project budget within the town's capital financing plan. Number 3, authorize the treasurer to proceed with an application to the Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation for long-term financing for the Environmental Services Shop project. And number 4, authorize the mayor and clerk and treasurer to execute all agreements and documents necessary to complete the financing as presented in 2026 Cal Report 12.7.
Could we have a seconder for that, please? Councillor Bird, thank you. Any discussion? Those in favor? Again, that is unanimous.
Your Worship, may I ask a question, please?
Yes.
For this, the vote. There are some residents that were involved in the conversation around the environmental services. I'm just wondering, while they're here, in case they're not up to date, if Director McNally can explain the amount that we're going for with the Ontario Infrastructure Lands Corporation.
You
What we're
want
looking for
Director McNally to elaborate on the.
just the amount to try and offset.
I guess you didn't hear.
Through the chair, so you're talking in relation to the grant application?
Yes, with the amount that we're going for. It's just for the clarification of the people here.
Sure. So we have an opportunity to do a grant application for the Environmental Services Garage. So we put in to the equivalent of $1.9 million to offset the cost for that. And so we submitted the grant application earlier this month.
Thank you.
So in applying for a grant like that, do we specify the amount we would like, or is there a, like, we'll fund 50%? How does it work?
Yeah, so through the chair, it's basically you're outlining what the total project is, and it can be up to 50%. At the time of the submission for the grant application, we didn't have the tender award number. So we will then now submit this total amount that if council moves forward with approving the total amount, that will just give them the update that that's what the total amount is.
Yes, we would be very thankful if we got that money. Councillor McCray.
Yes, through your chair to Kathy McNally. Have we received the Rideau Valley Conservation Report yet?
No, through the chair. So what we'll do now is if the council approves it tonight, then we move forward with submitting the permit application as well as our
To-
building permit application.
To the Rideau Valley Conservation Authority?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead. The deputy mayor, please. Item number 11, if you could read the list of bylaws.
Moved by myself, second by Councillor Dave Berg. Be it resolved, the Council of the Town of Perth has read the following bylaws the first, second, and third time short, passed, and signed by the mayor and clerk. Number 1, bylaw number 5276, Town of Perth zoning bylaw. Number 2, bylaw number 3358-0, repeal the Town of Perth zoning bylaw. Number 3, bylaw number 5264-1, agreement PTSD citywide building and planning permitting management software. Number 4, bylaw number 5280-1881 Rogers Road lease agreement for 2026-2027 for Bay Fitness. Number 5, bylaw number 5281 tender award CS 2026-06 environmental services shop construction to M. Sullivan and Son Limited. Number 6, bylaw number 3961-30 traffic and parking bylaw community safety zone St. John's Casket Elementary and Queen Elizabeth Schools. Bylaw number 3585-0 repeal the designate community safety zones in the town of Perth. Number 8, bylaw number 5146-2, amend the collective agreement for OPSU Local 435, memorandum of settlement, renew collective agreement for 1-year term and implement cost of living increase.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Those in favor? Okay. So committee reports, the first is myself and the deputy mayor in regard to county council. What I would speak to is a few months ago, Mississippi Mills took the initiative to build additional daycare space, and they got a grant from the county and they got another grant. And so one of the neat things that's enabled is that it used to be someone, and people are desperate for daycare space, they put their name in Perth and in Elmont and in Smith Falls, but now there's one common list so that it's much more efficient. Did you wish to comment on something, Deputy Mayor?
No, that's correct. The only question I had for county staff was, has there ever been over time discussion at the county level to build a county-run daycare center? I think the citizens in this part of the county certainly need a daycare center. The response back was no, it's never been discussed. And they encourage private daycare centers to open up in the area.
No. It's not a responsibility of the county. Okay, the hospital board, there was no meeting last month. We have an application in, we've been approved to apply for funding for a new hospital, so that is a long process. I don't have an update on that, but I'll I'll get it at the next meeting. Climate Change Advisory Panel, Councillor Smith and Councillor McCray.
That meeting was canceled.
Okay, that makes the report very short. HPAP.
May-
councillors.
Through you,
Councillor
Chair.
Burke.
Through you, Chair. I just would like to take the opportunity to thank two co-councillors, Councillor Byrd and Councillor Waterfield. And as well, Tracy bows for the support with the reuse center. It's running very smoothly, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank my co-councillors for supporting that initiative. Thank you.
And thank you for your initiative. I worked at it in previous years and it was like pulling teeth to get somebody to work there as a volunteer. So you've taken that in hand. Okay, is there a report from the Heritage Perth Advisory Panel?
Sorry, what did you say?
Is there a report from the Heritage Perth Advisory Panel?
No, I have nothing to say about it. Councillor Byrd may.
No, negative. There's nothing to report back. So
Okay, thank you. Deputy Mayor, the OPP.
No report. We didn't meet in July.
Okay. Striking Committee, Councillor Bolt isn't here, but the committee didn't meet this month. Leonard County Climate Action Working Group, Councillor McCray.
There was no meeting, Your Worship.
If only we could keep this up every month. So BIA and then Chamber of Commerce. Councillor McCray.
So the BIA is now in the process of preparing for the National Capital Women's Show, and that's going to be in October. And that's where a delegation of representatives, including myself, go down to the, I think it's called the EY Center. And anyway, it's October the 17th and the 18th, and we promote Perth and business within the community and the surrounding communities of Perth. So that's one thing that's coming up. As well, the BIA is very shortly going to be releasing their website and their strategic initiatives. And we're going to be meeting next week to work on Once Upon a Christmas event, which is an annual event that happens here in the town of Perth. And we've changed the theme to a country Christmas theme instead, with the idea of attracting the rural community into the town of Perth. Do you want me to go ahead with the Perth and District while I'm here? The Perth and District Chamber of Commerce?
Just one question before you
Yep.
proceed. I noticed when we were doing the budget that the BIA has a rather large reserve. Has there been any discussion as to what items that reserve might be spent on?
I think there's a lot of factors that still need to be worked out in terms of that reserve. Example would be the Stewart Park Festival. You know, we need to get all of the bills and those types of things in before I think we will really be able to say satisfactorily what we actually have in those reserves. And the other thing is, I think there's some concern, and that was why the taxation for BIA went up, is in preparation for when they dig up the main streets in the downtown core, that we have some kind of a plan in action to hopefully support businesses that might be struggling in order to maintain their business. So there's a number of factors that need to be considered before we go forward with that.
Okay.
Great question, though.
Proceed with the Chamber of Commerce report.
Yes, the Perth and District Chambers of Commerce, we didn't have a meeting, but of course, there were a number of people here who participated in the, I know Councillor Bolt did, and as well, there were a number of staff that participated in the golf tournament, and that's a big fundraiser that the Perth and District Chamber of Commerce does every year. And the other initiative that we'll probably hear about very shortly, but I have to step away from it, and that has to do with the all candidates meeting. And it's my understanding that the Chamber of Commerce is considering very highly of coordinating that event.
Okay, and the AGM is in October, right?
Mhm.
No. Okay, Councillor Waterfield, Library. And then our.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'll go through my various reports. With regards to the library, on June 24th, I attended the Indigenous Advisory Committee meeting. Very large discussion on the history of Indigenous peoples of the Ottawa Valley, which currently is in the Portland Library, and their beautiful building down there. I drove down, took photographs of the exhibit, met with CAO Erica Heeson subsequently, and we will be looking at having that display or a variation thereof in our own library here in Perth a bit down the road. At the AMO conference, myself and CEO Erica Heeson led a delegation of 13 municipalities to the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming. I did the presentation. There were two principal asks in that presentation. First of all, the creation of a province-wide Ontario Digital Public Library. This makes a lot of sense because of economies of scale rather than individual libraries purchasing these resources. The second ask was that municipalities fund 90% of libraries. The province funds 10%. However, the province has not increased funding in over 25 years. That's a quarter of a century. We asked for an increase, which is long overdue, especially with the evolution of libraries turning into community centers with increased services. With regards to the RVCA, as previously announced, Summer Casgrain Robertson has been named the project executive of the St. Lawrence River Regional Conservation Authority. She will also be the incoming CAO of the new region. Glenn McDonald has been named the interim general manager of the RVCA. While there's been no public meetings of the RVCA since our last council meeting, I've been involved in multiple internal meetings and discussions. With regards to the Natural Heritage System Strategy Working Group, there has not been a meeting since our last council. However, I would like to remind citizens that Lanark County has launched an interactive mapping survey as part of its Natural Heritage System Strategy, which will identify natural areas and the ecological corridors connecting them. The survey is open until August 31st, and it's available on the Lanark County website. Last, the Lanark County Traffic Advisory Group, we have not met since the last council meeting. Those are my reports, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And I inadvertently skipped over the Lanark County Climate Action Working Group. Was there a meeting, Councillor McCray?
No, there wasn't, and I have previously reported that. And I just wanted to make one correction. When you asked me about the AGM, I wasn't sure whether you were referring to the chamber or you were referring to the BIA. The BIA is coming up, and I believe it's in October. We already had the chamber's AGM.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Smith, could you read 13.4?
Be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Perth receive the Council Committee, local boards and external reports, minutes as presented.
Thank you. Those in favor? That's unanimous. Are there any questions from the media?
No.
Thank you. Our next meeting date is September the 22nd at 5:30, and I will be chairing that meeting. There we have no closed session, and so we have the confirmation of proceedings bylaw. Councillor McCray.
Thank you, Your Worship. Moved by myself is Councillor Isabel Ann McCray and seconded by Councillor David Bird. Be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Perth pass bylaw number 5282, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Town of Perth at its meeting held on August the 20th, 2026, to be read a first, second, and third time short, passed and signed by the Mayor and the Clerk.
Thank you. Those in favor? That's unanimous. And Councillor Waterfield.
Be it resolved that the Council of the Town of Perth adjourn the August 20th, 26th council meeting at 10 to 6 p.m.
Thank you. Those in favor? That's carried. One of the short